Okay, it has officially been 10 days. Let's talk about the results of my little experiment. It's a fruitless thing that you're doing. It's just a waste of time. It is about price. That's what I have learned. It's about price. Hello, everyone. Let's get some light on in here. It's so dark down here. In case you can't tell, we are in the dark recesses of my basement. And this is where I store all of the inventory that I sell not only on eBay, but also on my business Facebook page. My inventory area, as you can see, is pretty lengthy. And it's kind of divided up a little bit. This whole wall here and all this side, everything you can see right here in frame is all of the organized merchandise that I sell on Facebook. Not Facebook Marketplace, but I have a business page with some followers that follow specifically to buy items that I post for sale. And I have also recently opened up that page to shipping. So that means that my customer base has grown because I do that. Prior to that, I was just doing local pickups. But here's the deal. I have this side, this whole side, and this whole side, that's all eBay. So what exactly is this video about? What am I talking about today? This is what we're talking about. I got to do something with all this stuff. I'm getting tired of it. Since starting to sell on Facebook, I have become spoiled. I have a video series on my channel that I call From Source to Sold. And in those videos, I talk very specific details about the items that I'm selling on Facebook. I talk about how fast they sold. I talk about the price points. I talk about the instant profits. And if you notice, I never do anything like that for eBay. Why do you ask? I will tell you. Because everything I put on eBay just sits here. Now, recently I did do a video discussing my reselling shift. The shift that I have when it comes to selling merchandise online, I am shifting a lot of my focus away from eBay and more to Facebook because honestly, that is just what has been producing results for me. Now, that's not to say I am giving up on eBay entirely. You know, I feel like I need a shock to my eBay system, honestly, because if you follow my channel, you'll know that I've been suspended on eBay, and only my channel members know that I've been suspended on eBay not once, but twice in the last 60 days. I know. I didn't make a video about it because I thought that people would think that I was asking for it or lying about it. I don't know. People in the YouTube comments can be pretty brutal, but it's true. I really did get suspended on eBay twice in the last 60 days. I had an eBay suspension for a really crap reason, in my opinion. I did a video talking all about it. I'll link it below. And then immediately after getting reinstated, I was suspended for the same reason on an even more innocent listing. And so at that point, this is something I've only told my channel members. I haven't spoken publicly about this, but when that second suspension happened, it happened in, was it June? I'd have to look, but I think it was June, which was about 2 months ago. As soon as that happened, I was absolutely furious, as I'm sure you can imagine. And I went and I pulled down literally 1,000 items off of eBay. I just completely wiped my eBay store of anything that I thought could cause me problems in the future. And I also canceled my store subscription. Yeah. I straight up canceled my eBay store subscription. That's how pissed I was, you guys. That is how pissed I was. I went to all of my active listings, deleted almost everything that I thought could potentially put me in a red flag situation because, like I said, I'm a little salty with eBay right now, but that doesn't mean I wanted to just never sell on eBay again. And the fact that I was suspended twice in such a short period of time, I didn't want to risk permanent suspension. So I basically wiped my store clean of everything and anything I thought could raise red flags, similar to the reasons why I was suspended in the first place. And then after seeing how many things I removed, I figured, what the hell is the point in having an eBay store subscription? Why am I paying $60 a month? This makes no sense. And I canceled it. So now my little eBay pity party is over with. I threw my tantrum. I know there was some people in my comment section that were saying that, and you guys are absolutely right. I had to throw myself a little tantrum. I was really salty about eBay. I was really pissed off at the time because I felt like my suspension was completely unwarranted. I felt like bots did it. And not only that, but I had been having just no results on eBay for months. Months I wasn't selling things. And so I was angry. I was upset. I got suspended. I pulled a whole bunch of listings off. I canceled my store subscription. So what is next? I gotta wake my eBay store back up. So in order to do that, I am going to do something very drastic. I am going to mark everything that I have in my store 50% off. I'm going to do it for 1 week, and I want to see what the results are. I want to see if I can wake my store back up. And I figured that it would be something interesting to share because when you do something as drastic as that for 1 full week, you can collect a lot of data that could be beneficial not only for me, but for other people as well. But the caveat to this is I no longer have an eBay store, so I can't just simply run a markdown manager 50% off sale. All I can do is go in and bulk edit all of my listings and drop the price 50%, which in and of itself is kind of an interesting experiment to do because there is this whole idea of if you have an eBay store, if you want to put everything on sale to try to drive sales, well, let's rephrase that. If you want to put everything on markdown to drive a lot of sales, then you can do that. But if you don't have an eBay store, can you get similar or even better results just simply manually price dropping everything in your store temporarily and get your store back up and running? I'm about ready to find out. So I have a little over 300 items that are available for sale on eBay. It's everything on this wall here. It's everything over there. For 1 week, I'm going to drop everything 50% and we're going to find out what happens. We're going to see if I can get the ball rolling and start getting sales again, because I tell you guys, my sales for the prior few months have just not been very good. I'm talking a few $100s a month in sales, and that is it, which, you know, honestly is understandable given my situation because I am putting all of my primary focus on selling on Facebook. So selling on eBay has just been kind of an afterthought, and my sales definitely reflect that. But it's a platform that I don't want to let, you know, sink to the bottom of my reselling ocean. So I'm going to throw it a life preserver. We're going to see if putting everything at 50% off can wake up my store. The next thing that I plan to do after running the 50% off sale, and hopefully I will be able to include all of this in the video, but I'm basically going to drop all of my prices 50%. And then when I go increase them again, I'm likely going to increase them 25 to 30%. And then that weekend, I also want to send out private offers. I cannot send out private offers after dropping all of my prices 50%. It just doesn't make any sense because then I'll basically be giving all of my stuff away, and I'm for sure not doing that. We're not resellers to give away stuff for free. We need to make money. So my plan is to run everything 50% off or just drop my prices. I keep saying 50% off, but I'm not running a sale because I don't have a store anymore. I can't run a sale. I'm dropping all of my prices 50% for 1 full week. So it's going to be a Friday to Friday. And then at that time, I'm going to then bulk edit and raise all of my prices probably 30%. And then I'm going to wait, and then throughout the whole next weekend, I am going to send out private offers and see what happens. And so that's going to be 10 full days of hopefully sales and pushing activity. And I will share the results with you guys. But for right now, first things first, I have to go drop all of my prices. So let's go bulk edit and do that right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over to my listings and I'm going to go to all of my active inventory. So I have 331 active listings right now. How many do I have that are out of stock? Okay, there's only 5 out of stock. So that means that I have, 326 listings that are eligible for sale. Total quantities of 815 because I do have some multiple quantity listings. And then roughly $19,000 worth of merchandise. So I'm going to hit edit all 331 listings, and I'm going to select all of them and bulk edit. We are going to do the buy it now price. I'm going to say lower by 50%. Oh boy, here we go. Let's see what happens. Now, the caveat to this is I might still have some free shipping items in here. If I do, there's not going to be that many. But if I do, then this could, bite me in the butt. So we're just gonna see what happens. We're just gonna play this by ear and see if this was a good idea or a bad idea. I think it has been 4 years now, 3 years, 4 years since I switched everything to paid shipping and no more free shipping. I actually have a YouTube video where I, announced that I was no longer going to be doing free shipping and I was going to be charging shipping on every single listing. And I think that was 3 or 4 years ago. I'll link it in case you're interested. But I'm pretty sure that everything here should be charge shipping. So dropping all of my prices 50% should not hurt me regarding shipping. So I'm going to leave all these check marked. I'm going to hit submit all. Submit. I have officially dropped all of my prices 50%, and we are going to see what happens in the next week. Am I going to start selling stuff? Is nothing going to change? Is everything going to stay the same? I guess we'll find out here shortly. Stay tuned and I'll update you. Then the sales started rolling in, starting with Friday, August 16th, total of $187.85 in sales. Saturday, August 17th, $195.14 in sales. Sunday, August 18th, $22.25 in sales. Monday, August 19th, $93.50 in sales. Tuesday, August 20th, $49.30 in sales. Wednesday, August 21st, $33.58 in sales. And then Thursday, August 22nd, with a total of $48.88 in sales. So that means that over the course of those 7 days, total revenue amounted to $630.50. There was a total of 29 sales or 29 separate items sold for an average sale price of $21.74. Now that does include the total amount, including the shipping charged. So that means that 33.1% of that total revenue went straight to seller costs, which were things like shipping labels and seller fees. It is now first thing the next Friday morning, and these are kind of some of the stats, but the reason why I'm recording right now is because I'm just going to go through and raise my prices back up. And like I mentioned, I'm going to raise my prices back up roughly 30%. And then over the course of the weekend, I'm also going to send out privatized offers to people. A lot of people, when they send out offers, you just kind of, you can blanket it and you can just say, send everyone a 15% off discount or something. But I think I'm going to go through and I'm going to customize offers based on the item and how badly I want to move it. But I can't do that unless I put the price back up because I'm not just gonna, give away stuff just yet. But right now, these are the stats. You can clearly see over here the first 2 days that I marked the price down were the most powerful. And I'm not surprised by this at all. It was not because I sold items that were more expensive either. There was just more to ship on these days, Friday and Saturday. Those were the 2 days. And of course, early Friday morning was when I marked everything down. And then the next day I had good results. And then while I continued sales here, they did just start to drop off. I did get one sale first thing this morning as well. So I am going to go in here and raise up my prices, but you can see already almost $500 in sales and just shy of 1,000 over the last 31 days. So that just goes to show that in the last week after dropping my prices, I made 50% of the revenue for the entire month. And it was a quarter of the revenue that I've done over the last 90 days. So dropping the prices definitely did drive some sales. But after this weekend is over, I will do an entire recap of all of my results. But for right now, let's go raise the prices up. So to do that, I'm just going to go into my active listings and I'm going to say edit all 331 listings. Now, some of these items, of course, did sell. They just have a zero quantity, but to just make it easy, I'm just going to edit all of them. I'm going to edit the buy it now price. I'm going to increase by 30% and apply. That's all I have to do. I mean, they make it really easy. I got to give them that. So thank you, eBay, for allowing me to change the price of so many items all at once that quickly. I do appreciate that. Just hit submit. And there's no charge for doing this, which is why, you know, I always say revise your listings as often as you want. It doesn't cost you a penny. That's that. All of the prices are updated, so I will follow up with you guys again here in a couple of days and go over all of my notes and all of my discoveries during this little experiment. I'll see you guys soon. Okay, it has officially been 10 days. Let's talk about the results of my little experiment. You can't really see a big difference. However, I did get some results, and I want to talk about the results of my little experiment. And then after I go over the numbers, I want to talk about what I feel like I learned from this experiment and basically what I plan to do with eBay moving forward. So after the first initial 7-day test was done, I did raise my prices back up 30%. And then the next day I sent out private offers on basically everything that I could. There was a few things that I chose not to send private offers on just because they're not needing to be moved that fast. I think that the price that they were at was a good enough price. I just need to wait for the right buyer. But there was a lot of items that I did send special offers on, and I think it totaled 105 offers went out. Over 100 private offers, and I did not do bulk offers. I did do one at a time. I did not film that process because that was tedious. And frankly, I was just sitting on the couch watching TV, scrolling through my phone, sending offers one by one. Didn't want to record that process. So 48 hours after sending out those private offers, I got 4 sales from them. And that equated to $85.74 in revenue, which after 19.5 selling costs, that was a net sales total of $63.65. The average sale price for those 4 items was $21.44. And after selling costs, that made the net ASP $17.25. So now the seller costs over the weekend with those 4 accepted offers, that was a lot lower than the prior period, just simply because the items that had the offers accepted were smaller and they were a lot less expensive to ship. A lot of people might not know that the seller costs associated with selling on eBay is not necessarily the cost of the final value fees. It's actually the cost of the shipping label that you print through your eBay account also. So that's something else. I do see a lot of eBay sellers say, oh my gosh, I'm paying 30% in eBay final transaction fees. No, it's not 30% in eBay transaction fees. The transaction fee is only a portion of it. The rest is things like shipping labels that you pay to eBay in order to ship the item out. Little information that you might not have known before. So that also means that the revenue collected, that $85.74, that was also with shipping charges, because I do not do free shipping, I do charge shipping. Which, bonus information, that's also really handy if you accept offers or send offers on eBay. It's always a good idea to charge shipping in addition, because if you have free shipping and you're sending or accepting offers, you really have to, think about how much money is going to have to go to shipping labels, and you might not necessarily know how much it's going to be because, shipping labels depend on where the buyer is. So if you send out a $20 offer and your item is free shipping, you might think it's only going to cost $8 to ship it to somebody, but then it turns out they're like in Hawaii or something and it costs $12, and you could be in the red just on shipping alone. So if you're going to send or accept offers, make sure to charge shipping. That's another little handy tip. So let's talk about the 10 days overall. The 10 days spans August 16th to August 25th. During that 10-day period, I was able to amass a total gross sale revenue of $743.63, which is up 596.5% over the prior period. The prior period was the 10 days before this little experiment, was up almost 6x, almost 600%. Yeah, my sales were in the toilet. The total seller cost came to 33.7%, which was a total of $250.84, which left me with a total net sales amount of $447.26. So that means of the $743 revenue that was collected, the amount in my pocket was actually $447. I sold a total of 34 items over those 10 days with an average sale price of $21.87. And now if I take out that 33.7% seller cost, that makes my actual net average sale price $14.49. So that means for every one of those 34 items that I sold, I made $14.49 for each one of those items I shipped out. And that's actually really good information to know because that is actually the amount that was deposited into my account after the shipping label was paid. So that means that if my average cost of goods was $2.50, that means that I basically profited $12 off of every single item that sold. So what did this little experiment teach me? This little 10-day experiment that I just did taught me that price 100% drove my sales. 100%. So over the years, I've always preached in order to drive sales on eBay, you have to be an active seller, including doing things like revising listings or doing updates to your titles. Part of being an active seller was also doing things like sending out offers or running a markdown sale or adjusting your prices as you need in order to keep your item competitive in your market. But the only thing that I did during this 10-day period was affecting price. I did not do any revisions. I did not do any of those other typical things that I would preach about doing in order to drive sales. It was 100% about price, and it was lowering the price that reflected almost a 600% increase in sales in just a short 10-day period. So that can also tell me a few things about the inventory that I actually have listed as well. A lot of these items have been sitting for a very, very long time. A lot of the items that have already sold were probably priced in their market at the time, and the 300 items that are left in my store might just be overpriced for the market. So what this can help actually teach you is that if your items are not selling on eBay, you really, really need to pay attention to your price, because just because something was $50 when you listed it doesn't mean that it's still $50 today. Markets constantly fluctuate. You know, for instance, this sphincternometer. Sphygmomanometer. Whatever the hell this thing is. You know, at the time this was listed, and this of course is listed on eBay because it is more of a niched item. At the time, my assistant, because it was my assistant, not me, that put that on eBay. At the time, the price for that might have been $40, but there might have been a whole bunch flood the market, which, you know, there's always that race to the bottom. It very well could be worth only $25 now. So if mine is listed at $40 and the other ones on the market are $25, of course mine is not going to sell. So that just goes to show, if you have items listed on eBay, if you're just like going in and being active and you're revising things and maybe you're sending an offer, but your offer is still not competing with the actual market, it's a fruitless thing that you're doing. It's just a waste of time. It is about price. That's what I have learned. It's about price. Make sure your price is correct. And I guess this is more about reminding myself of that as much as it is reminding you guys of that. Price is 100% going to be the thing that drives sales. It's not going to be fancy pictures. It's not going to be titles. It's not going to be being an active seller and going in and revising and doing all these things. It is going to be about price. The only time I think it would not be about price is if you are one of the only ones on the site. If you're one of the only ones on the site, you can have basically whatever price you want, because if you're competing with one or two other people, once they sell theirs, you're going to be the only one. Or if you're the only one on the site, you can basically set your price because an item is worth what someone is willing to pay for it. But if you are on the site with dozens or even hundreds of other sellers all selling that exact same thing, it's going to be price. And gosh darn it, that's just how it's going to be. It's going to be about price 100% of the time. So what is my plan moving forward? What exactly am I going to do about eBay? Because I know that I have been in kind of a negative space with eBay lately, just over, the relationship I've had with them regarding, having my feedback score get tainted, and they basically didn't care. I got suspended for a BS reason, all this, that, and the other thing. I am not giving up on eBay, you guys. I'm not. eBay is just not my primary focus. It's not my primary income right now. My primary income is selling on Facebook to my page with a group of buyers that I have accumulated over time, and it's also doing things like my own website where I sell my candy and my nuts, and I do the farmers market, and I have Christmas season coming up, and with my roasted nuts, that's going to be like a huge part of my income during Q4. But that doesn't mean I'm not going to do eBay anymore. I think that I am just going to be shifting my focus to only niched items on eBay, where I only list maybe a small handful of items every single week. I do have my oldest son, who is now an adult. He's graduated high school. He's 18 years old. I do have him kind of helping me work on my Facebook page a lot more, which is going to free up some of my time. So I will be able to focus on getting items on eBay, which I am going to be putting the items in my eBay store, not my son, because I feel like a lot of the reason why a lot of these items are not selling is because I am not personally doing the market research for them. Because when you have employees or you have assistants helping you do listings, or you have someone else in charge of pricing, it might not be 100% correct. Like, for instance, one of the items that I sold over this 10-day period, one of these items, I actually had the customer reach out to me first and say, why is the shipping so expensive on this item? And my initial response to them was going to be the standard response that I give to everybody that says, I don't control shipping costs. It depends on the weight of the item, the size of the package, how far it has to travel, yada, yada, yada. But then I decided to look at a little bit deeper in the listing, and it turns out the only shipping option that was available was priority mail. And I realized that that was something that at the time my assistant screwed up on. This easily could have been a first class or a USPS ground advantage package with a priority mail shipping option, but it just wasn't created that way. So that kind of told me that it was possible that it was the shipping costs scaring people off of buying this item. So I went in, I fixed the shipping, and they bought it. You are the experienced seller. And I have to remind myself too, I am the experienced seller. I am the one who has been on eBay nearly 20 years. I am the one who is the best person to price and put these items on eBay. As much as I want to trust somebody else that I feel like I have properly trained, it might not always be the best. So my son is going to help me do the Facebook page, which I am still going to be controlling all of the pricing on that. He's just going to kind of help me get a jump start on some stuff to free up some of my time so that I can also focus on putting a small handful of items on eBay every single week. And I am really going to be paying attention to price. And when I am considering pricing, I'm also going to be taking into account the amount of money that I am comfortable in getting in profit, kind of like I do with my Facebook page. You guys might have, see me talk about on my From Source to Sold video series. I talk about, I paid $2 for something, so I at least want to get 4x my money or 5x my money back. I think I'm going to do that kind of with eBay too. That way I can try to turn items a little bit faster on eBay as well. However, if I have a little bit more niched items, I understand those items are going to have to sit. But if they're more, mainstream items on eBay, I'm probably going to treat it with a expected profit potential determining the price instead of being the highest in the market and waiting for someone to send me offers on it. Does that make sense? That concludes my little experiment. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up if you appreciate that I did all of this and documented the whole thing so that we can all become educated on what we can do to increase our eBay sales. Hit the thumbs up. Let me know that you appreciate my transparency, because the YouTube algorithm makes me ask you this, because if you don't hit the thumbs up, they don't recommend my videos. Why, YouTube? Why? Don't forget to check the video description. I always put a lot of useful information in there, including the link to my Facebook page where I sell now if you want to go see how I sell on Facebook in real time. I do also ship items on that page now, so if you happen to see something that you'd like to purchase, you can join in on the fun and just put sold in the comment section. I also have my nut and candy website down there if you want to see all of the snacky snacks that I sell at my farmer's market booth and all of the little event things that I do, which I am going to start vlogging the little events and things that I do too. It's just when I do the events and things, they're pretty involved, and the last thing I want to do is break out a camera, but I think I'm going to start vlogging that whole process because I know y'all are kind of interested in that. If you have any questions or comments, please put them down in the comments below. And if you haven't subscribed yet, why? Why? Subscribe to my channel. Like half of the people who watch my videos aren't subscribed. Do you think you're subscribed and you're really not? Check. Check. Does it say subscribed? Is the little bell rang? Do a little looky-loo. See if it's true. Thank you guys again so much for watching, and I will see you with my next video. Bye.